Today, we're counting down the 10 most powerful photographs that document the first Black Oscar winners, and by the time we're done, you're gonna understand exactly why they tried to erase this history. Photo number 10 shows us Hattie McDaniel at the 1940 Academy Awards ceremony. But this ain't the sanitized version they show you in documentaries. This photograph, from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences archives, captures the moment right after she won Best Supporting Actress for Gone with the Wind. Look at her face, man. That's not just joy, that's vindication. That's a Black woman who just proved she could act circles around anybody in Hollywood. But here's what they don't tell you about this moment. McDaniel had to sit at a segregated table in the back of the room. She couldn't even sit with her own cast members because the Ambassador Hotel had a whites-only policy. So she won the highest honor in American cinema while being treated like a second-class citizen in the same building. This photograph captures both triumph and humiliation in one frame. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. McDaniel's acceptance speech was written by the studio because they were terrified she might say something that challenged the racial status quo. Even in her moment of greatest achievement, they controlled her voice. But look at her eyes in this photo. You can see she knew exactly what was happening, and she was playing the game to survive and succeed. Number 9 takes us to 1964 with Sidney Poitier backstage after winning Best Actor for Lilies of the Field. This photograph from the Academy Archives shows Poitier holding his Oscar, but what makes this image extraordinary is the context. Poitier wasn't just the first Black man to win Best Actor. He was the first Black person to win a leading role Oscar, period. And he did it during the height of the Civil Rights Movement. Look at Poitier's expression in this photograph. That's not just personal satisfaction, that's the weight of representing an entire race on his shoulders. He knew that every Black actor who came after him would be measured against this moment. The pressure was unimaginable, but he carried it with dignity and grace. But here's what's really wild about this photo. It was taken just months before the Civil Rights Act was signed. So Poitier won Hollywood's highest honor while Black people still couldn't vote in many states, couldn't eat at white restaurants, couldn't stay in white hotels. This photograph documents the absurdity of American racism, where a Black man could be celebrated as the best actor in the world while being denied basic human rights. Photo number 8 shows Dorothy Dandridge at the 1955 Academy Awards, and even though she didn't win, this image from the NAACP archives is crucial to understanding Oscar history. Dandridge was nominated for Best Actress for Carmen Jones, making her the first Black woman ever nominated in a leading role category. This photograph captures her at the ceremony, looking absolutely stunning and completely out of place in a room full of white faces. What makes this image so powerful is what it represents. The beginning of Hollywood's recognition that Black women could carry major films. Dandridge's nomination broke barriers that had existed since the Academy's founding. But look at the isolation in this photograph. She's surrounded by people, but she's completely alone. That's the reality of being the first, the only, the pioneer. Dandridge's career was destroyed by Hollywood's racism and her refusal to play stereotypical roles. She died, broke and forgotten, but this photograph proves she was there first, paving the way for every Black actress who followed. The Academy may not have given her the Oscar, but history recognizes her as a trailblazer. Number 7 takes us backstage in 1982 with Gossett Jr. after winning Best Supporting Actor for An Officer and a Gentleman. This photograph from the Prist, Los Angeles Times archives shows Gossett in a moment of pure emotion, tears streaming down his face as he holds his Oscar. What makes this image so significant is that Gossett was only the third Black actor to win an Academy Award in the 54 years since the ceremony began. Think about that for a second. In over half a century of Academy Awards, only 3 Black actors had won Oscars by 1982. This photograph captures the weight of that history, the burden of representation, and the joy of breaking through barriers that seemed impossible to cross. But here's what's really powerful about this image. Gossett's tears aren't just about personal achievement. They're about proving that Black actors could excel in any role, not just the stereotypical parts Hollywood typically offered. His performance as Sergeant Foley was complex, authoritative, and commanding. This photograph documents the moment Hollywood finally recognized Black dramatic excellence. Photo number 6 shows us Whoopi Goldberg at the 1991 Academy Awards after winning Best Supporting Actress for Ghost. This image from the Academy archives captures Goldberg backstage, Oscar in hand, with an expression that's part disbelief, part triumph. What makes this photograph historically significant is that Goldberg became only the second black woman to win an Oscar in the Academy's 63-year history. Look at Goldberg's face in this photograph. That's the look of someone who just shattered expectations. Hollywood had typecast her as a comedian, but Ghost proved she could handle dramatic roles with depth and nuance. This win validated her range as an actress and opened doors for other black women in Hollywood. But here's what's really important about this moment. Goldberg's win came during a period when Hollywood was still largely segregated behind the scenes. Black actors might win awards, but they rarely got to produce, direct, or control their own narratives. This photograph represents both progress and the limitations that still existed. Number 5 takes us to 1997 with Cuba Gooding Jr. at the Academy Awards after winning Best Supporting Actor for Jerry Maguire. This photograph from the Getty Images archives captures one of the most emotional acceptance speeches in Oscar history. Gooding's exuberant celebration became legendary, but this backstage image shows the quieter moment afterward. What makes this photograph significant is the context of Gooding's career. He had been working in Hollywood for years, often in small roles or stereotypical parts. Jerry Maguire gave him a chance to show his range, and he seized it completely. This photograph documents the moment when Hollywood finally recognized his talent. But look at the emotion in Gooding's face. That's not just happiness, that's relief. Relief that all the years of struggle, all the rejected auditions, all the times he was told he wasn't right for a role, finally paid off. This photograph captures the human cost of breaking barriers in an industry that wasn't designed for black success. Photo number 4 shows Denzel Washington at the 2002 Academy Awards after winning Best Actor for Training Day. This image from the Associated Press archives is historically significant because Washington became only the second black man to win Best Actor, 38 years after Sidney Poitier. Think about that gap, nearly 4 decades between the first and second black Best Actor winners. This photograph captures Washington holding his Oscar with a mixture of pride and awareness of the historical moment. He knew he was carrying the hopes and dreams of every black actor who had been overlooked, underestimated, or denied opportunities. The weight of that responsibility is visible in his expression. But here's what makes this win so complex. Washington won for playing a corrupt cop, a villain role. Some critics argued that Hollywood was more comfortable giving black actors Oscars for playing negative characters than heroic ones. This photograph documents both triumph and the ongoing struggle for authentic representation. Number 3 takes us to 2005 with Jamie Foxx after winning Best Actor for Ray. This photograph from the Academy archives shows Foxx backstage, Oscar in hand, with tears in his eyes. What makes this image so powerful is that Foxx's win represented a new generation of black actors who refused to be limited by Hollywood's expectations. Foxx's transformation into Ray Charles was so complete that many people forgot they were watching an actor. This photograph captures the moment when Hollywood recognized that black actors could disappear into any role, embody any character, and deliver performances that transcended race. It was a validation of pure acting ability. But look at the emotion in this photograph. Those aren't just tears of joy, they're tears of vindication. Foxx had been dismissed as just a comedian for years. This win proved that black entertainers could excel in multiple disciplines and deserve to be taken seriously as dramatic actors. Photo number 2 shows Forest Whitaker at the 2007 Academy Awards after winning Best Actor for The Last King of Scotland. This image from the Reuters archives captures Whitaker in a moment of quiet reflection, backstage. What makes this photograph historically significant is that it represents the beginning of a new era in black Oscar recognition. Whitaker's portrayal of Idi Amin was fearless, complex, and utterly convincing. This photograph documents the moment when Hollywood acknowledged that black actors could tackle the most challenging roles in cinema. There was no safe, comfortable character here, just raw, powerful acting that demanded recognition. But here's what's really important about this image. Whitaker's win came during a period when the Academy was facing increasing criticism about diversity. This photograph represents both progress and the pressure for change that was building in Hollywood. And our number 1 photograph shows Halle Berry at the 2002 Academy Awards after winning Best Actress for Monsters Ball. This image from the Getty Images archives captures one of the most emotional moments in Oscar history. Berry became the first and still only black woman to win Best Actress, and this photograph shows her backstage, Oscar in hand, still processing the magnitude of the moment. Look at Berry's expression in this photograph. That's not just personal triumph, that's the weight of history. She knew she was carrying the dreams of every black actress who had been denied opportunities, who had been told they weren't leading lady material, who had been relegated to supporting roles or stereotypical characters. Berry's acceptance speech referenced Dorothy Dandridge, Lena Horne, and other black actresses who paved the way but never received recognition. This photograph captures the moment when their sacrifices were finally acknowledged. But here's what makes this image both triumphant and tragic. Berry remains the only black woman to win Best Actress, over 20 years later. This photograph documents both how far we've come and how far we still have to go. It's a reminder that breaking barriers is just the beginning, not the end of the fight for equality and representation. So there you have it, 10 photographs that document the first black Oscar winners and the long, difficult journey toward recognition in Hollywood. These images prove that black excellence has always existed in cinema, but the industry and the media have consistently downplayed, ignored, or forgotten these achievements. Until next time, folks, stay blessed.